Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And we are here for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 3, Episode 1, Sisters in Brawl. So the episode opens with Marceau and their Uncle Mike trying to make it up to where they're building Scott Manor. Unfortunately, it rained, so it's all muddy. They had to go back down the hill. And Marceau said that everything is being pushed back due to so much rain. They're unable to get a driveway so that they can get things going. So when they get to the bottom of the hill, there's Maurice, and he's telling him how, they couldn't make it up the hill. And in the confessional, Maurice is like, yeah, I'm waiting for Marceau to build his house so that I can then build my house bigger and better. And I'm thinking, what house, Maurice? Kimmy said no. Kimmy said she is not living on a compound with you and your entire family. So they end up talking about how Tish is changing everything all the time. And Maurice is like, well, happy wife, happy life. And Marceau is like, yeah, but that pushes us back even more every time she changes it. So they get to talking about the fact that Kimmy and Tisha are in a bad place. And I didn't know they were in a bad place. Like when they left off last season, were they in a bad place? I know Tisha is childish and she had a problem with the fact that Kimmy wasn't running around defending her like crazy, but I didn't know that it really affected them. So they're talking about the issues between the ladies, and Maurice is saying that Kimmy just really doesn't feel like she did anything wrong, and Marceau is saying that Tisha just had these expectations and she feels like they weren't lived up to, basically. And then he says something very interesting, you guys. He says that Tisha and Martell are a lot alike in the way that they respond to things. And I thought that that was very interesting because everyone knows, including Marceau, that Martell is trash. So what are you saying about Tisha? Um, the one thing I like about Marceau has lots of shit with him, you guys. He does. So we're going to get into that later. But he absolutely calls Tisha on her shit every time. He doesn't just let her get off with saying whatever and doing whatever, because a lot of the time she's wrong. And you guys will learn that Tisha is not my favorite. I don't like her. I think she is problematic. I think she is narcissistic as well, because we all know that women can be narcissistic as well. So him comparing them was very interesting to me. So Maurice tells Marceau that Martell was on Strawberry Letter and he apologized to Mel. And later on in the confessional, Marceau said he heard it and it sounded sincere. He said, but the thing with Martell is he can be very sincere in the moment, but then the next moment he's upset with you and you just don't know what you're going to get. And he said the best apology is change behavior. And we all know Martell can't do that. So now we're at Mel's house and she is pouring champagne or wine. And I was hoping that it was for her on a date, but it was for her and Destiny. In her confessional, she has this kind of half up, half down do, but it's dark. And I really like her so much better with dark long hair. This blonde, I guess that's her thing, but so yeah, Destiny comes over. They start to talk. Yeah, their glasses are filled all the way up to the top. My kind of girls. So they're doing a toast, and Destiny tells her, listen, you got to have eye contact. And, while you take your drink, or else you're going to have 7 years of bad sex. And she says, oh, no one wants that. And then she says, and going at this rate, Melanie, going at this rate, I may be celibate for the next 7 years. And I'm like, no, Mel, this is not where we're headed. Even if it's not true, I need you to start lying. Make it seem like you're dating and you're moving on with your life. I don't want her to run around saying, oh, I'm going to be celibate. I'm not dating. I'm not. Even if that's her truth, we know Martell is watching. Maybe I'm just petty. So Destiny reveals that she and Kimmy went to lunch. And that's a good thing because we know that they had kind of a falling out or a misunderstanding about the whole chicken thing. I only know him because of he cooked the chicken. He cooks really good chicken. About her husband. But she also said that Kimmy was being a little nosy. And like, yeah, we haven't seen LeBeric since the reunion or something like that. And what's going on? And she said, well, we're as good as we can be. And Mel's like, I hate when people do stuff like that. So Destiny says, yeah, she's trying to get the tea. And she's like, speaking of my tea, I didn't tell you that I was divorced. And Mel doesn't say anything, but she like flips her hair and looks like, what? And you guys, they go to a commercial. But at this time, I was conflicted big time. I was like, girl, you totally knew that she was going through a divorce. Pretty much it had to have been at the same time as you. For you to be completely and totally divorced now, you guys had to have been going through some things at the same time. And for you to not mention it, how cool are you all? That's on one hand. On the other hand, I'm like, oh, maybe she was just really, really trying to be there for Mel and not put her own personal stuff in there. But I don't know. I think I would feel away too, guys. So after the break, we find out that LeBeric was super upset about the fact that she didn't want to take his last name. And she gave all the reasons why she wanted her family last name. Very sentimental, but that could not be the only thing. But that's what she put out there as the reason. So Mel asked her how long ago was all this, and she said about a month ago. I guess maybe it was finalized a month ago. And Mel feels away. And she says, I know, I know. However, I was just trying to be there for you. And then she flips it and says, I also needed to do this alone, and I didn't want to have anyone in my ear giving me feedback. Now that I can understand, but I don't know. How cool are they? So Melody told her that she didn't give her a chance to be a friend. She said, I understand all of that, but I really would have loved to have been there for you. And there was nothing that big that I was going through a month ago that I couldn't help you through that. And she kind of tells her, listen, your situation and my situation is different, where you were with him way longer. So when you signed your papers, you were, upset. It was hard for you. But when I signed my papers, the sun was shining different. And I'm like, yeah, we definitely weren't just falling out over no last name. Like, if you were that happy to be rid of him, something else happened, but that's all right, sis. You ain't gotta tell us. But they tend to, I guess they, made amends or whatever. Melanie said she wished she could have been there for her, but she'll be there in her good time. You guys, Destiny's a pretty woman. She'll be all right. She's gonna be fine without him. And I think a lot of us realized that LeBeric was missing last season. Yeah. Now we're at the office with Marceau, and his daughter is calling him, and she wants him to bring home some chips. And he's like, what kind of chips? And she's like, yeah, they're not round. She's starting to describe who knows what. And he's like, yeah, there's a lot of different chips. So when you find out exactly what it is, let me know. And she's like, can I search it up? So cute. And he's like, yeah, use all your resources, search it up. Then we have Kimmy coming in, and she is dropping off his meal prep. And I'm like, Marceau is just so helpless. I swear to God, he is such. So Kimmy, I mean, not Kimmy, Tisha is back in school getting her second master's, so she's not able to cater to his every whim. So this fool needs somebody else to cook for him, and Kimmy is doing it, and she's doing his meal prep. So Marceau is asking Kimmy to help throw a graduation party for Tisha because Kimmy's a chef. And she's like, no, I won't help you do that. And then we cut to Tisha and her cousin Kiki that actually looks exactly like Tisha's mom. So that is hilarious to me. But they're talking about Kimmy, and she's just like, first of all, let's talk about Tisha and this side ponytail. You guys, I don't like side ponytails on grown women. Don't do it. It's not cute. It's not cute if you're grown. Don't put your ponytail to the side. This shit's just not cute. You guys, she has on this animal print dress and big pink earrings that don't go. She just look a mess to me. Or maybe it's just the fact that I just don't like her. And we go back to Marceau and Kimmy, and she's like, no, you guys don't get to, have your family and friends and Wanda and everybody dog me out and say how I'm the bad guy, and then you want me to do something for you. And he's all like, oh, but you're the sister. And you guys, I didn't like Kimmy at first. I'm not gonna lie. I thought she was just boring and dry. However, I see that she just sticks to her guns and she's not about them games. She's not playing with them. So after this episode, I think I like her way more than I did before. Matter of fact, I know I do. Kimmy is not playing games with these people. So Kimmy says, listen, Miss Wanda can cook. Marceau is like, no, she cooks with margarine. And Marceau is really charming. Like she said, he's a clown. He knows how to joke his way out of some things. So he was able to get her to say that she would help cook some food. She said she's not going to do it all. And he's like, no, just do the sides. And he's like, we're a team. And she's like, no, let's be clear. We are not a team. So the cutest thing, Marceau's phone rings and it's his daughter. And before he answers it, he's like, she done gave this girl my number. And it's the daughter. And she's like, listen, I sended it to you. And he corrected her, which I loved. He's like, sent. And when he looked at it, she sent him a picture from Amazon. And Kimmy's like, yeah, she did what we have to do with men and sent your ass a picture. But so cute. Enter Martell, and he shows up at Destiny's store and he has a box with him. And he's telling her how his daughter just started school, and she's like, yeah, I saw the post. And in the post, he has a post with his daughter saying how she's just starting school. And he's like, 4 down, 1 more to go, talking about the outside baby. And she's like, yeah, that just wasn't cool. And he's like, being typical defensive Martell. I'm not gonna not claim my kid. I'm claiming my kid. You know exactly what you did, Martell. You did that as a dig at Melanie. You had never claimed a kid, and that's the way you do it with my kid in the photo. That's how you claim this kid. He does things to get under her skin, and then he acts stupid. Classic narcissist stuff. But I don't know. Was it really Destiny's place to bring it up? I guess so, if she's his friend. They end up doing a little bit of a back and forth. And then finally she says, listen, what's in your little box? And he laughed like, huh. So he starts pulling out these shampoos and body butters and everything. And he's like, listen, I'm looking to partner with Tam and Tamara. And we're, this and that. And she's like, so these are yours? And he's like, no, they will be mine. I'll have 20%. And he's like, well, that's if I decide to do 20%. And she's like, so hold on. You are bringing me stuff. You're promoting things and you haven't even signed the contract yet. And then he makes mention of the fact that he's waiting until the divorce. And she's like, your divorce has gone through for how many months now? So you guys, Martell thinks he's slick. He doesn't want to do any new business ventures while going through a divorce because is he afraid that Melanie will try to get some of that? But you're already divorced, idiot, unless he's lying and he's already signed the contracts and he just doesn't want her to tell Melanie. And I'm like, if you guys are already divorced, then what difference does it make? Martell is a dumbass. And she's like trying to make sense of it. And she's like, so basically you're here promoting something that you are not even a part of yet. And he's like, it's fine. I'm going to be fine. And this and that. And I'm like, I think he's lying. I think Martell already signed the contract. He just don't want her to know. So Martell asks about LeBeric and she's like, that's in God's hands now. And he goes on this whole relationship thing and trying to make it work. It takes 2 people. And she's like, well, did you try to make it work? And he's like, yeah, I did for 12 years. And she's like, yeah, but balancing 2 different lives and households isn't really that easy. He's like, that's why you get a divorce. You and Mel, y'all mouths. And I'm like, no, it's true. You want to talk about how you've been married for 12 years and you tried for 12 years, but did you really? Because you were cheating for 6. So Martell, fuck out of here. Okay? Ugh. Martell says women just need to be women and allow men to be men. And he said that Destiny and Melanie are going to end up with weak men because they are just, and Destiny says, we're just too much woman for you. Basically, you can't handle our mouths. And he's like, you guys having big mouths is not a good thing. And it is hilarious that he doesn't think he's weak. He really, really believes, you guys, you got to look out for these alpha men. These men that run around talking about, oh my God, I'm an alpha male. And I used to buy into that and be like, no, you know what? I'm an alpha female because, I take care of everything. So I need an alpha man. And I don't know how much truth there is to that, because a whole lot of the alpha men that I got with turned out to be narcissistic as hell, because kind of chauvinistic, kind of I am man, you are woman, stay in your place. So you got to be careful with that whole alpha male thing. And that is definitely how Martell sounds. So the realtor that's over the 47 acres came in to speak to Melody, and he is telling her that they're going to build like 40 plus or so single family homes, and the investors want to know if she would be interested in building a couple of custom homes. And she's thinking about it, and it's so funny because he's the same one that met with Martell last season and told him, listen, we're going to put the brakes on this for right now because you got too much going on. Like, basically, they were trying to distance themselves from him because he was acting a fool in the media. You guys, women are just so sweet. I swear we just lead with our hearts. After everything he did to her, Melody said, listen, have you talked to Martell? Like, I don't want any kind of bad blood. You know that he really wanted in on this, and I don't want any sort of situations. Like, I have enough going on with him without this. And the realtor says, we're going to talk to him. I just wanted to talk to you first, and we'll see what happens. So, guys, now we're at the barbecue for Tisha and her graduation, and the whole family is coming. So Melanie came and she hugs Marceau, and then we have her father Horace, and I'm like, her father would be a Horace. He definitely looks like a Horace. Looks like he has a curl. I don't know. May not be a Jerry curl. I don't know. But Horace is wearing his two-piece outfit, and he's doing it. He looks like a really nice man. So I am not clowning Horace. Then we have Lavaris. Yes, his Lavaris. His nickname is T-Man. And that is Letitia's brother. And her cousin Kiki. Girl, everything, I'm saying girl like I'm talking to somebody. Everything about this family is just fabulous, as in ghetto fabulous. So T-Man asked Kimmy, yeah, what's up with you and Tisha, whatever. I know y'all had some difficulties. That is exactly how he said it. And Kimmy said, yeah, she had some difficulties. I'm like, you better let them know, Kimmy. So Kiki says, I just feel like in some of the instances you could have had her back a little bit more. And Kimmy's like, yeah, and which instance was that? And she's like, at the reunion. I just feel like you were asked if you guys talked about Melody, and Kimmy's like, yeah, and Tisha said no, but we did. So basically her answer should have been yes. And she's like, and since we did, I said yes. So I told the truth. Y'all, Kimmy shut this girl all the way down. She says, oh yeah, I commend you for being honest though. You were honest, so that's fine. And Kimmy says, so do you think that we talked about Melody Holt? And she says, yes or no, Kiki. And Kiki is just looking off smiling because Kimmy just shut her ass all the way down. And you know what? That's the problem that I have with Tisha too, is that she always has somebody fighting her battles. And I feel like if you don't fight her battles, then she has an issue with you. And it's like, girl, learn to fight your own battles. So Tisha gets there. She tells Marceau that she's very surprised that he invited her family. And he's like, yeah, too bad your mom couldn't be here. And he's looking all sad. And she's like, yeah, I feel like you picked a day that you knew she wouldn't be around, so she wouldn't be here. And he's like, yeah, she'll be at your next one. Get your third master's and she'll be there. So Tisha gives a speech, and in the speech she says something about him making her cry, but it's okay because it's out of love. And I'm like, that is why your family is always going to have an issue with him, because she's always saying something negative. Like, you got your whole family there. It's a special occasion. Why are you bringing that up? So he gives her a watch. It's cute or whatever. So now we have Marceau and Tisha's family pressing him about the comment he made about being from the other side of the tracks. So we got an uncle, we got Uncle Bernard, her dad what is her dad's name? I can't remember. Damn it. We got Lil T, we got Kiki, and all of them having an issue with the fact that he said she was from the other side of the tracks. And he's like, yeah, because we was in the projects, right? And Kiki's like, yeah, so what's not going to happen is Tisha's not going to be the butt of the joke. So Marceau says, listen, we were the ones that had issues. We were homeless for a while and all that or whatever. So he just kind of takes it to mean that she was doing better. But Marceau, we know what you meant. Horace, that's the dad's name, y'all. Horace. So Marceau says, because they show a little thing of every one of them talking to him at the same time, and they're just like really, really pressing him. They have an issue with it, but they took, what he said, and I guess they're okay. But he's in the confessional. And he's like, just when you thought Miss Wanda wasn't here, and he's like, she's here through her minions. And yeah, what's up with this family? They just be trying to jump people. Y'all better watch them. So Tisha and Kimmy have a talk, and Tisha's telling her how she wasn't there for her and she thought of her as a sister. And she's like, we used to talk and everything. And Kimmy's like, yeah, we don't talk now because I don't know what to say to you. I know you feel away. So what am I supposed to say? So in the confessional, Tisha's like, yeah, my mom never said I love you, but her actions showed it. And so then I'm all about action. So you can tell me that you love me all the time, but if you're not doing something to show me, then I don't believe you. And I'm like, she got issues. You guys, Tisha got issues. And Kimmy ended up saying she thought she was spoiled, but nah, I just think she has some deeper issues than that. So Kimmy tells Tisha, listen, when I was defending myself against Kaiwa, you guys didn't say anything. Not you, not Marceau, not nobody. She's like, the issue that you had with Melody, she didn't come out and call you names to your face and say all these, really rude things to you. And this girl did, though. You guys said nothing. You said absolutely nothing. So what you are requiring of me is something that you didn't do. And it looked like maybe that part was registering with Tisha a little bit. So Kimmy says she feels like she sounds like a broken record because she's saying the same thing over and over again. So she tells Tisha, look, I adore you. Like, I really care about you. However, I'm not going to agree with you all the time. And that is so grown up, but Tisha is not grown up. She can't get it. And she's like, yeah, I just feel like your actions and everything don't align. And I want us to move on from this and stop talking about it and just move forward. And I guarantee you it's going to come up again, and it's going to come up again per her. She's going to be the one that's going to bring it up because she doesn't know how to let anything go. Her mom doesn't know how to let anything go. And apparently her entire family don't know how to let stuff go. So we're going to have to keep hearing about this over and over again. But that's the end of the episode, and it looks like the season is going to be good, you guys. Season looks good. But I will be back later on for Family or Fiance, and I'll also be doing Raising Canaan and The Shy tomorrow. So I will see you guys soon. Thank you. If you have not, please subscribe and like, comment. What else am I supposed to say? Hit the bell so that you can know when I upload. Thanks, you guys. Smooches.